Local news, sports, talk, and community connection for the North Bay.
When news breaks or emergencies occur, tune us right in.
The Vine at 99.3 FM.
And to get posted updates on emergency situations, follow us on Facebook.
For podcast and broadcasting schedules, go to our website.
99.3 The Vine is owned and operated locally by Wind-Down Media.
And we are persistently going to be talking about preparedness for fire season, which is pretty much year-round anymore, but now is a good time to be thinking about it. Another episode of our Firewise First Friday, and we have two guests here in studio joining us right now. We have J.R. Roberts, who is Assistant Fire Administrator. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
And we also have Erick Hernandez, who's Deputy Fire Marshal. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Thanks to you both for coming in. Erick, you want to lead us off? What's your first most urgent message for folks listening today in this topic?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I think that from the county's perspective is, if you live in the state of California, fires could happen at any time, and we all must take action and be prepared. Taking ownership of our fuels, of our properties, and ensuring that we're doing the best we can. The county's done an amazing job with a partnership with Firewise and CAL FIRE Sonoma Lake Napa unit. We have a great partnership on reducing fuel loads and focusing on projects. But I think now is the time that we want to make sure that property owners are doing their part as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, we might have seen the last rain of the season at this point. It's about the time of the year when it may or may not rain anymore. And what does that mean, JR, in terms of how the landscape changes and the fire danger changes?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts to become drier as we progress, obviously, through the summer. The heat starts coming along. We've got a little bit of a minor heat risk this weekend. And fuel start drying out. And so that just starts to increase our fire danger. And so something we just all need to be aware of and be prepared for. And, as Erick very adeptly mentioned, take care of our spaces and our places.
I saw a thing the other day. I think this is accurate. A lot of the big fires we've experienced here and in Southern California, there's a focus on electric lines and ignition sources being from down power lines. But the thing I read recently was that most of our fires get started from human activity that's not as dramatic as that, perhaps. Is that true?
Yeah, it is. Over 90% of fires are human caused, whether it could be human error or, intentional. Fires can be prevented. So obviously sometimes we have fires that are caused by Mother Nature, dry lightning, but majority of the fires can be prevented.
How many fires do we have when people try to deep fry a turkey around Thanksgiving? I mean, that has to be in the top 10 causes, right?
Well,
not for vegetation fires, but
I mean, definitely structure fires. And, luckily in the county, we're averaging about 10 to 12 structure fires a year, which honestly, given the size of the county, we're over 700 square miles. That's
very low.
That's very low. But I know other concentrated areas like in the cities and smaller communities. Obviously, that's a more common practice where unfortunately people are making those type of mistakes.
Yeah,
and it's been. I mean, we've been through it here, with the fire complexes, and it feels weird. Almost that we haven't had such a big fire recently. It feels good, but it just feels like we're waiting for another shoe to drop. So what are some things that folks can do to take care of their homes now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the county has invested the County Board of Supervisors have invested over $24 million over the past 4 years for strategically fuel reduction projects from roadside clearing projects, which basically give us the advantage of not only increasing the means of egress for our community members in those highly populated areas where there's only one means of egress. It takes time to get off the mountain, right? But at the same time, Firewise has done an amazing job on applying and obtaining fuel reduction projects as well, money for fuel reduction projects. The vintners are cooperators where they've donated money for Firewise to be able to strategize and implement and reestablish dozer lines in strategic areas. So there's a lot of proactive work being done. But at the same time, there's still a lot of fuel out there. And so, we can't prevent fires from happening. Fires it's going to continue happening. But what we've seen in the past is fuel reduction, defensible space works. going back to 2022, if I remember correctly, the old fire just on Soda Canyon, a month before the fire started, we had just implemented a roadside clearing project on Soda Canyon Road. We were able to use that fire as a contingency line to be able to hold it from the fire from progressing. As a result, no structures damaged or destroyed, no injuries. And so we know these projects work. So that's why the emphasis on, one, being prepared, not relying on government and Firewise and all this amazing work that's happening. But, we look at the Eden fire where there's in Altadena, over 14,000 structures. We cannot expect an engine to be able to provide structure defense on your structure, right? On every structure. So that's over 14,000 engines. It's not going to happen. So the message is, as a property owner, what can I do to make sure that if we do have a wildfire, I'm increasing my chances of surviving, my structure is going to survive if an engine is not able to come and provide structural defense.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's once the red flag warning goes up in August or September, October, that's not the time to be trying to create your defensible perimeter, right?
No, absolutely need to be doing it now, 100%. I mean, to Erick's point, it's we're living with wildfire. So how can we coexist together to be prepared ahead of time? So preparing your structure now, being responsible for the time of day that you're doing it. You mentioned, we're starting to get a little bit drier and a little bit hotter. So, doing that weed whacking and that mowing, in the earlier mornings rather than the late afternoons where you could potentially start that fire. Yeah. And just, getting that home prepared. The fire marshal's office and CAL FIRE have done a great job getting a lot of information out there on what you can do to, harden your home, whether it be, the vents on your home or the different types of sidings or, our ember resistant zones right up against the house. So that, if a fire does come along or near you or embers are dropping near you, your house can potentially survive without us even being there. And that's the work that has to start now and really honestly go year round.
And I'm sure there's a place to send folks for information, instructions, based on things to do and how to do them, and resources to access. Yeah.
So one of our best programs that we have in Napa County Fire that has to offer is our free consulting program. So when we're talking about preparing our community members and doing the right thing, the county's not saying, well, just go out there and here's a piece of paper. We're being proactive. So we started a consultation program. Any property owner that lives in the county in unincorporated areas that wants to do the right thing, but they just need a little bit of guidance, they can call our office, or they can go to our website, our Napa County Fire Department website, and they can request a consultation inspection. There's no charge, obviously. We come out, and myself or one of our team members or an engine company will meet one-on-one with our property owners, whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, and we'll walk around the property, look at critical fire infrastructure, fire department access, proper addressing, and defensible space, and we'll make recommendations, and we'll establish some sort of list of these are the things that you shall do to meet our requirements, and these are the things that you should be doing as additional recommendations. In addition to that, JR oversees the chipping program, and this is a free service that we offer to our community members as well that are in our jurisdiction. So we know that there's a high cost to do defensible space, but the county's stance is we're bringing you some assistance so that you are able to meet those requirements, and more importantly, you are able to be prepared.
That's a huge community partnership. At the end of the day, you take some time to, build those chipping piles, reduce that fuel load, and then we come in and chip it and then reduce it down to nothing. So countynapa.org/chipping. Yeah. Definitely sign up.
Do it now. Get it done.
Absolutely.
All right. Firewise First Friday with J.R. Roberts, Assistant Fire Administrator, and Erick Hernandez, Deputy Fire Marshal. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.